How's it guys, Munash here with more Alliance War, 9th War of Season 22, and today I'm going with Quake, Nick Fury, and I'm bringing in Sorcerer Supreme as well, who I've never used in any serious Alliance War. I've actually only used her once during the off season, and that was for not even half a fight. And today we're up against the big Apoco, so we knew this was going to be a tough one going in. So not a lot of fights today, but the fights were quite interesting, particularly the ones with Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, so I'm going to jump on to part 1. And first up I have this Tigra with Arc Overload and Vigorous Assault. And this is a fight or a node that I usually would Quake, mainly because she does bypass the Overload. But I decided I'm going to use Nick Fury for this one, just to be extra safe, because I thought it would be easier with him compared to Quaking it, because Tigra isn't the easiest champ to Quake. And yeah, with Nick Fury at the high health pool, I don't have much to worry about. It should be a pretty quick fight, because she doesn't even have 100,000 health. So I'm going to use a lesser champion boost along with a health boost, because I am going to do 3 fights in this section. So I go in with Nick Fury, I dash back a few times, then I want to go for the intercept, but she's very eager to actually start hitting me, so I do get clipped there. And now I'm in the corner. Fortunately I can dex a heavy attack. And yeah, that's pretty much it now. Now I just gotta keep on hitting her until she goes down, and just bait that special one, which isn't the trickiest to dex. So yeah, I mean Arc Overload can trigger, but she's almost down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's a very quick and easy fight with Nick Fury. I even pushed her to a special 2 there, because I knew the bleeds would take her out before she could even, finish the animation. Alright, and she goes down. Took a few hits, but didn't take that much damage at least. So now let's move on to this Magik with Masochism and Indomitable. So this is a pretty standard Quake fight. It's one of the most standard Quake fights. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with Quake and do the usual heavy dex. She's not defensive, so no need to worry about stubborn for this one. And yeah, it's a very straightforward fight with Quake. I am slightly boosted, so it shouldn't take too long as well. In fact, it should be very quick. Should be about a minute long. And I actually did get clipped here with Quake because she did throw her heavy attack, and I just wasn't expecting it. I haven't seen a Magik heavy attack in eons, and it just caught me off guard. And I couldn't quite dex in time to... Well, actually, I couldn't quite heavy in time to fully dex it at the end. So yeah, I got clipped by that last hit, but I'm not really worried about it. And yeah, she goes down in about 45 seconds. So yeah, not bad at all. Alright, now the third fight in section 1 is going to be this rank 3 Aegon with strike counter fury, armor and power drain off the special attacks. So this is the fight that I would usually Quake, or actually depends who's on it. Sometimes I'll Quake it, or I would use Nick Fury for this. If I didn't have Sorcerer Supreme, I would definitely use Nick Fury for it. But I do have Sorcerer Supreme, so I said, why not try her, let's just test her out early in Alliance War. Because it should be a very comfortable fight for her, because Aegon does gain lots of buffs, so you can really take advantage of Mystic Dispersion. So I thought of the special one to get the nullification aura. Because yeah, that's how Sorcerer Supreme nullifies. With that aura, just have to be close to them, and then she nullifies a bunch of those buffs one at a time. And yeah, I'm gaining power quite nicely, and I'm going to throw some special 2s now. And I basically just alternated between the special 1 and special 2. Not because I meant to, but just, due to how much power I had at the time, I wanted to throw the special attack. But yeah, it's a very easy fight with Sorcerer Supreme. Even if he does gain a lot of those Fury passives, he still doesn't do that much damage, along with the Fury buffs themselves. And I can just block all I want, because she's got that really nice regen through the block. And yeah, I can throw some decent special 2s here, just from gaining a lot of power with Mystic Dispersion, and eventually he goes down. And yeah, even if you don't know how to use Sorcerer, it's still a very easy fight. You just gotta parry, drop a combo, and then throw special attacks. You don't need to manage your runes or throw a special attack at a specific time to get a desired effect from a particular blessing, it's just spam. So that was quite a fun fight with Sorcerer Supreme, just due to having Mystic Dispersion, because she really does benefit from that mastery. Alright, now let's move on to section 2, where we have the Stealth Spidey with Rage and Enhanced Fury. So I'm actually glad that this is a rank 3, because with a rank 5 5-star, I could actually trigger Rage, or trigger those Fury buffs with Nick Fury with my medium crits. So yeah, as a rank 3, I don't have to worry about Rage, you know, as long as I don't lose my decoy, I won't be doing that much damage. But yeah, I generally do like Nick Fury for Rage nodes because he does have the bleed. So yeah, no need to boost for this fight. Also, I don't want any chance of hitting the damage cap. And fortunately, he isn't defensive as well, so I can just punish after dexing his special attacks. And he does have the evade that comes back after a couple of seconds once it's disabled, but you know, it's not really a problem. It's actually very easy to bait it out and then, you know, just punish or just wait for him to whiff and then go back in. And yeah, with Nick Fury's tactical charges, I can also just counter the evade. Once I have 5, he can't evade. And yeah, it's just a very comfortable fight with Nick Fury. And I actually do like to dex the special 2 instead of the special 1, just because it doesn't activate his evade again. But I mean, with the tactical charges, that's not even an issue. And now I'm just doing the quadruple light combo, because I only need that last light attack for the big bleed. Alright, and Stealthy goes down, only triggered Rage once with that last medium attack, and yeah. Now we're going to move on to the next fight in section 2, which is going to be this Terrax with Aggression, Prowess, and Power Focus 2. Now this is a fight that I've never done before. In fact, Terrax is a champ that I seldom see in Alliance War, not even on my path, but just in general. I've never really heard people having problems with them. You know, usually they just power control, bring Magic or Quake or something, or even Namor, and just, yeah, have a good time. And yeah, Terrax was actually one of those champs who I used to even forget is even in the contest. I think it was only after season 20 when I started realizing, oh yeah, there's this champ called Terrax. You know, I started seeing him a bit more in Alliance War, because I guess more people started pulling him, and yeah, he's just such a forgettable champ to me. Kind of sad, you know, just his numbers. You know, on paper, he looked like he had some very promising abilities, but the numbers just don't make sense. Even on defense, like, you can take a couple of hits from Terrax and actually survive them because he hits like wank. I mean, it's pretty bad. Especially being a Herald. But yeah, with Quake, this is a champ I just had to do one duel with because I've actually never Quaked him before, funny enough. So I just did a quick duel, and turns out it's a very straightforward Quake fight. Oh yeah, I did fight one Terrax last season when I was doing Path 9, so I wasn't using Quake that much, but I had Magic, and it was pretty straightforward with her. All I know is you can't use Doom because he is immune or has some form of resistance to power draining effects against metal champs. Okay, and that's my section 2 taken care of, and now we have one more fight, which is gonna be a rank 3 SIG 200 Killmonger boss. So yeah, now the rest of the map is cleared, everyone's just waiting for me to come take the boss, and yeah, this is why I brought Sorcerer Supreme. So yeah, I'm gonna put on quite a bit of boosts. In fact, it's probably the most I've boosted in Alliance War in a couple of months. So now I have a greater champion boost, along with a health boost and attack boost, both of the greater mystic boosts for power gain and damage from the special attacks, and then I also decided to use an invulnerability boost for good measure. I was considering using advanced power instead, just so I can get the regen on block, or armor break him right at the start of the fight, but I figured it's probably not necessary for this fight, I can just wait for the special one. So I went with invulnerability instead, because that is basically the ultimate safety net for this one. But again, it wasn't really needed, because this fight was super comfortable with Sorcerer Supreme. But the main thing is I wasn't sure how her damage would be like in this fight, so I just decided to boost up for it. Because he is pretty stacked, almost 500,000 health, SIG 200, so the reverb will be strong, although I can always just armor break him. So I go in with Sorcerer, just gonna parry, bait that heavy attack, and then combo. And I'm gonna throw the special one, which is in armor mode. Ragadors, whatever. I still don't know the names of all the blessings. I just call them armor, fury, and control or power mode. So yeah, that will give me that nice regen on block, so I can actually block a bit more without taking that much damage, which makes the fight very easy with Sorcerer Supreme. So now what I need to do is armor break him. So fortunately I can get to the Fury Blessing when I have 2 bars of power. And the nice thing about the special 2 is that it does pause the effects of the blessings. So I do apply the armor break and the duration is paused, along with the regen on block. Okay, now I'm pretty well set up for this fight. The only thing I might want to do now is just throw the special 3 to bank one of the effects from the blessings. So ideally I would want to bank the Fury Rune just so I can armor break him whenever I throw a special attack. And that'll just make handling the reverberation a lot easier. And that'll basically store a permanent rune, which means now with every special attack I throw, it will apply the armor break. Okay, so that takes care of that, and now I want to get another one of those regen on blocks. The other nice thing about this fight is that Sorcerer is defensive, so she can counter stubborn by parrying. But also that regen on block just makes sure that you don't have to dex that much as well. You can just take full combos on the block and then punish, or bait a heavy attack and then punish. And just that regen on block mechanic is one of the best abilities we've seen this year in my opinion. Because you can just take the pounding on the block like it's nothing. Like, I'm even playing this fight pretty safe by just baiting the combo and then punishing afterwards. I'm not trying to intercept too much, you know, doing anything fancy. It's a very simple fight with, well, maybe not simple, but it's a very comfortable fight with Sorcerer Supreme. You know, just gotta manage those blessings with your power. And now Killmonger really isn't that bad. He's not doing anything particularly annoying in this fight. You know, we're just playing our usual game with Sorcerer Supreme. And he's very surely going down. It's very easy to maintain the armor breaks because I also do have level 4 Mystic Dispersion, so the special 1 can nullify those adaptive buffs, the resistances, to get a little bit more power. And she really does benefit from having Mystic Dispersion in a buff heavy matchup. Although this isn't the heaviest buff matchup. He only gains 1 buff every 8 seconds. Also, it's worth noting that my Sorcerer isn't awakened. I would like to awaken her, even though she doesn't really need it. It is very nice to have, especially for certain matchups. Like at high stakes, she actually becomes a pretty good domino counter. So yeah, Sorcerer Supreme completely shuts down this Killmonger boss, and this is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, boss solo I've ever had in Tier 1 Wars. I felt like I had so much control over the fight throughout, barely took any reverberation damage in this fight, and took a lot of block damage, but we managed to regen the vast majority of it, just due to that super thick regen on block. So yeah, I really enjoyed this war. Just using Sorcerer was an absolute blast, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. But that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.